What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, B. Zanny, joined by my co-host, D. Woody. And today we've got another great episode on our way to 50 episodes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've got some quick hitters we're going to talk about at the beginning, cover a few topics, and then we're recapping CDL Week 2 and taking a look ahead to the minor bracket, something new in the league. So it's going to be a good episode, and we'll see you guys in there. Another week of Call of Duty in the books, and some crazy timelines happening, or some crazy stories happening on the timeline. How we feeling, Dak?
Yeah, I mean, so far the season's been pretty fun to watch. I think my only complaint is just the map pool. Someone commented on one of Zuma's videos, it feels like I've seen 2 years worth of Vault already, and I kind of agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed the competition thus far. I think a lot of these mid-pack teams are impressing me, like Rocker and, Surge needs to step it up, but I feel like they could definitely be in that top 6 mix, and they've been fun to watch. I've seen a lot of their matches, so yeah, league's doing good.
Yeah, I agree. The map pool is definitely scarce, but I think they just need to add Hacienda in and not worry about taking any maps out right now. But we'll get to that stuff later. One thing that was announced, I think the night we were recording in the last podcast or the day after, is the new Elden Ring game.
Yes, sir. So
was that the night we were recording?
I think it was, because that's when the Game Awards were. It was that night.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the Game Awards they announced Elden Ring Night Reign, which is a up to 3-person co-op game where basically it's like a survival game mixed with like a battle royale map, kind of, because I guess you and your 2 friends spawn on a map. The castles and forts around the map are randomized every run, and you're supposed to survive 3 in-game nights, which last about 15 minutes each, and at the end of each night, you fight a boss together. So during the day, you're looting, you're doing all that, trying to level up and loot as much as you possibly can, and then you fight a boss at the end. And it's kind of like a roguelite, so every run you start with nothing, you're like a level 1, and you just level up and loot along the way, and you get different loot each time. So some runs you could just get hoed and not get anything. Some runs you could get absolutely stacked early and make a deep run. So I think it's going to be fun. The combat is Sekiro style, like you can move a little quicker, climb things. There's some parrying that I saw in the trailer. There's flying mounts. There's all kinds of different weapons, and there's 8 different classes that you can choose from. And it looks sick. I don't think it's I believe I read somewhere it's not like a full-size game. Like they're not going to sell it for full price. So I think it might be $40 range, maybe, hopefully.
Okay. Hopefully.
But yeah, I think it's more of like just a little spin-off. It's not as grand as Elden Ring's going to be, but it definitely sounds fun, and I'm glad that it's co-op and in the world of Elden Ring, and it looks sick. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that definitely sounds super fun because, a lot of the replayability of Elden Ring comes from New Game Plus and then like challenge runs.
And like switching really up your builds and stuff.
You don't really get the replayability factor of just playing the game through again, like normally, right? Because it's such a vast and awesome experience the first time. It's like hard to repeat. Like you don't go and watch Interstellar again for the first time and feel the same things, right? Like so. I think that this will have a lot more replayability in that sense, where there's not that 20-hour grind to get to a point where the game's fun.
Right.
And then you dive in. It's like, I didn't hop on with the boys last night. They're level X, and at this point in the game, it's, oh, we're just going to start new runs tonight because I didn't really miss anything.
Yeah. And I'm
So
sure
that
you'll
part's
be able
definitely
to,
goated.
I don't know. I mean, there's got to be incentive to doing good in runs. So, like, I wonder if you unlock certain armor, like new skills and stuff for getting all 3 nights done. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder where these RPG elements are
Mm-hmm.
gonna fit in, because obviously we know, like, during the daytime will be the most, obviously the game itself is gonna be RPG, like with the looting up and then a boss fight. But where's like the looting aspect during the day? Like, what is that gonna be like? Is it gonna be killing enemies? Is it gonna be farming things?
Yeah, I would
What?
assume you just fight normal NPC type of enemies during the day.
Okay.
But I don't know.
And then, like, what's the like that flying mount, obviously it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
used for traversing around the map, but can it be used in combat? And then we saw crazy movement, art, Ashes of War, and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. And a lot of the abilities and stuff play off of other players. So, like, you can, apparently there might be some
Oh, yeah.
combo Ash of Wars and stuff like that. So I didn't see any summons, though,
Yeah, I didn't either.
because it's a co-op game. I'm assuming maybe in this, like, there just won't be summons at all, or maybe
Yeah, I
they
don't
just
know.
wanted to keep that under wraps. But either way, I'm excited for the game. It looks great. Everyone's gassed up.
Yeah, FromSoft don't miss.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to that. Some other news here. We got some Rocket League roster mania going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I saw that NRG is rumored to just pick up G2's roster since G2 is stepping away from Rocket League, I believe.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be dope. NRG is a
That's cool.
historic, legendary
Yeah.
org in Rocket League, so that'll be fun to have them representing.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of NRG in general as an organization. So I'm game for them to be the team to root for in NNA if it's that
Yeah.
same team.
And First Killer
Obviously,
is still looking for a roster, so I wonder where he's going to end up, too.
he must just be a piece of shit. Or
Nah, I don't
something,
know. I don't know.
dude. Who's G2 gonna be?
I don't think they're
now
Rocket.
NRG.
Oh,
They
it's
didn't
just
drop Atomic?
Daniel, Beast Mode, and Atomic, yeah.
They didn't drop it.
Nah.
Huh. I would've-
One mistake doesn't define a person.
You told me right after that event that, like, he was the weak link all year.
I don't think I said that. I mean, yeah,
Along those
he's
lines.
he's worse than Beast Mode and Daniel, but they're the fucking
Oh.
best 2 players in the league.
Yeah, my bad. That's my bad. Okay, cool. So NRG back in the RLCS. Love that. Or not back in, but technically, yeah.
They're
'cause
back
they
in
were at the
relevancy,
majors.
yeah.
They were in the majors.
Yeah, they haven't been
they're-
to a major in a minute.
Yeah. And we got HCS roster mania, which I think we touched briefly on this when it was, like, first rumored.
Yeah,
Was
but
that,
now the wheels
French
are turning.
tweet. But now everything is coming together. It is looking like Halo is supposed to have Optic being Formal, Legend, Renegade, and
Bound.
Bound. And then SSG is going to be Stellar, Eco, Lucid, and
Snakebite,
Snakebite. Like,
which is crazy.
wow, like, this is gonna be pretty crazy. And
Soulgob on Twitter said, if these rosters are real, this is the closest thing to Sith vs. Jedi that Pro Halo has ever seen.
Yes. Yeah, you sent me that. That's funny. And then, like, but Shopify, is gonna have, like, Royal 2, Trippy.
That's right.
And, like, maybe Suppressed and someone else. Penguin.
I think they already officially announced their roster.
I thought I was working off something in my brain, but I maybe I just assumed I was pulling shit out of thin
let me
air.
look that up real quick because I'm pretty sure they did announce their
feel like I saw a
Halo
tweet.
roster. Yes, Royal 2, Cycle, The Last Shot, and Frosty. So they're
right. You
like
said
a
that
top 4 team that could upset
that's
on a
Royal
good day.
2 and Frosty, and then the best free-for-all player in the
Yeah.
game, and then Cycle
had a
probably,
good season.
I'm pretty sure that was his rookie. I mean, I don't know.
No, he's
there's
been around.
multiple. I'm thinking, like, Halo 5 for, like, first game,
Mhm.
not the years. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy, especially Optic. Those games are gonna be
Yeah.
lit.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
FaZe is out of Halo, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't
they
know
got rid of their
anyone that
whole
would wanna
roster.
enter in.
Yeah, they got rid of their whole roster, and there's like no longer really top players to be picked up besides Trippy that I can think of.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
and
Yeah, there's
Deadshot.
going to be some good ass rosters to watch.
Trippy and Deadshot or Dead Zones will definitely team together. Trippy was in his wedding, so they're homies.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Bet.
So and they're still free agents.
And then when it comes to rosters, still we had the Pred situation that we touched on last week, and we've gotten some more clarity. So Pred went live actually, and even uploaded a YouTube video just explaining the optic situation. ... He was farming that for sure for YouTube views. But he pretty much just came out and denied everything about it being related to gambling or anything like that. Betting on the matches, fixing shit. He pretty much said that was like insanely outlandish and just pure clicks.
Yeah.
And that he has some personal issues that are, holding him back from a dedication standpoint, a communication standpoint, and he felt that he was hindering the team. And so he's going back home to sort things out and plans to come back after Major 1 and, hopefully compete again. Is there anything that I missed in that? Because I was going to follow it up with something, but I want to make sure that's pretty much it.
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, he did just kind of shut down all the BS talks on Twitter about him, and I think I kind of get it. Like, he's obviously just not in a good headspace, and like maybe it was just to the point where he just like couldn't even focus on anything type shit, and he was just like, I don't know, out of it all the time. I mean, he lives in America, his whole family's across the world. He's just here alone, like hopped right back into COD. Like, I'm sure it's just stressful, bro. And I'm sure he might have shit going on at home. Like, who knows, man?
I was thinking, like, I'm just still so confused on the dropping and complete removal from Optic. Because there must have been a talk where it was like, you're not getting picked back up is what I think happened. Because like, why? Because they don't have a substitute unless they do. That is, maybe it's just Karma listed as their substitute or something.
Bose.
Or no, it wouldn't. Hell no, it'd be Skunk before it'd be Bose. And so, because initially I'm like, you move him to the bench, you pick up Hook, and then when the time comes, he can step back into the lineup. Because even I feel like even if Hook performs well, I feel like winning Major 1 would be the only reason that you don't pick Fred back up.
Yeah.
And so that is a high likelihood that doesn't happen, just based statistically, like not saying that they can't, but there had to be a conversation that was like, regardless of the outcome of this change, like you're not coming back to Optic because why? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that had to have happened for that all to come through or to fruition as it did.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's like still weird to me is how it just immediately happened and they completely cut ties, it seems like. But I mean, obviously, like, they didn't cut ties friendship wise, but they unfollowed him, and I don't know. He's just no longer a part of Optic at all.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
And then they could come and say it was purely administrative. Like, once you leave Optic, you gotta take it out of the name for sponsorships.
Yeah, they are more of a business now.
Like, I could they could say that to me, I'd be like, okay. But then still, just surface level, it just seems a little bit weird. If it was purely administrative, what was the point of kicking him off the team and not just benching him? So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll still get more clarity. Hex talked about it on the podcast, pretty much saying that we can't talk about it until Pred talks about it. And I'm pretty sure that was probably recorded right after he posted or streamed and whatnot. So I don't know. We'll probably get more clarity as the year goes on. And probably get the most clarity in the off season of next year when he's not trying to get a spot back. But yeah, with that being said, are you ready to jump into weekend 2?
Yes, sir. Let me just share my screen real quick.
The PowerPoint is back, folks. Our first game of the weekend here, we had LA Thieves versus Gentlemates. Some Stinky versus some Lords. Other than the vault control, I mean, first off, we got to take a look at these hard points. Gentlemates played really well. They were slaying very well in the hard points, um, and they made it really close. But it was more so mistakes from LA Thieves than it was anything.
Mm-hmm.
The Skyline hardpoint, Gentlemates actually threw. Thieves definitely should have lost that
Oh,
one
they
on Skyline.
threw so hard.
Yes, Gentlemates broke into P4. They needed one more second and just collapsed, on that bedroom hill. Super, super bad.
Yeah.
They threw this one away. LA Thieves dropped the control. I don't know what was going on there. They kind of were just getting smoked, and the timings weren't working for them. So they got smoked on that one. But overall, this was a scrap masterclass. Over 100 kills,
Yeah.
1.22,
That's why I
and
put the
gets it
duo
done.
up there, him and Hydra.
Yep,
We're Clay and Steph this day.
yep.
And then I
They
put
were
the
Clay and Steph.
stinker here because Priesta, man, once again, just not there on the slaying level. And,
Especially when you get a good Kiz series.
yeah. Oh, and also this was the Battle of the Frenchmen, so Linz had to show up. Linz was his turn.
Also the Battle of LA, which usually goes in history goes in favor of LAG. But obviously, with this level of a talent discrepancy, I think it's easy to break that Battle of LA curse.
Hey, this easily should have been a 5-map series, so
that is true.
the Battle of
That is
LA
true.
lives on. But yeah, I mean, I just think LAG is just never going to put a green carpet performance up. There's always one or two of them that's dropping like a .75 and just getting
Yep.
smoked. And that's not going to fly against teams like Thieves and Optic and the top.
We'll have to see if that ever happens, if they all have 4 greens
Mhm.
against a worthy opponent.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if they smoke Falcons or something and do it, whatever. What I like so far, as we get into more of these matches, is how competitive the league is right now.
Mhm.
Obviously, we've got LA Thieves separating themselves and Optic looking pretty good. And then
Ultra.
FaZe is always, and Ultra looking pretty good as well. But I feel like that gap will be closed pretty quick on them. And we've also haven't seen them play LA Thieves or Optic.
Yeah.
So, what I was saying is it's very competitive right now. Right now, we just have the Falcons as that real stinker
Yeah.
team. There's not a team that's really down there with them,
Nah.
in terms of just like another or 2 teams. There's a group of like 6
Mhm.
above them, and then there's like a group of 2, and then the group of 2 that's
Yeah.
in the top 2 echelons.
Yeah.
So it's really competitive amongst like the bottom 8 teams right now, 9 teams maybe. So that's really entertaining. Actually, 8 teams. I would say LA Thieves, Optic, Carolina, and Toronto have separated themselves after the first 2 weekends. So
Yeah.
I'm liking how competitive it is, but LA Thieves just out talent.
Yep. For sure.
Next, we had C9 versus Minnesota Rocker. They decided, hey, we're gonna muscle through this and get some good practice in and keep our heads on straight and not blame about ping so much. And yeah, as you see, the Mac truck up top. Mac had a great series. They take it 3-1 with some pretty good wins in hardpoint around 11 S&D, and they drop that control 3-0. That map 3 was just an insane Nero masterclass. I think he went 24-8. Let me double check. Map 3. Oh, I'm on the wrong match. Hold on.
I will say, look at map 1 too.
24-8.
Look at map 1. Mac dropped 36, right?
Mac
Was
went
that a different map?
37 and 27.
Yeah, yeah. Mac was frying this series. So Mackenzie
Yeah,
melts.
he had a good match.
That boy's back. He's back.
27 and 19.
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
last
lie. I
map, too.
slept. I slept.
I mean, I still need to see a bit more. I'm not gonna say that he's bad, but I'm not gonna say that he's insane
Yeah.
because this is the first series we've seen him do it. But he does look good. I will say that you want to see this going into the minor.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Cloud9 finally on some good ping. They find their first win here. Looking good.
I don't even know if they were on good ping. I think
Well,
they
it had
just
to be
stopped
better than
bitching
last
about
weekend.
it. They said they tweeted or attached tweeted like right after muscled through the Denver ping or
Oh,
something like
no.
you know what I'm saying like that. conquered the Denver. I don't know.
So it's still an issue.
Either way, they made the right. Whether it's mentally or they actually had better ping, they made the adjustments to let that get out of their
head. Well, if ping is still an issue, then it's affecting Sib more than anyone else because he did not do good the next match either.
Sib. He's supposed to be their all-star and their hot hand, and he has not looked good in this game whatsoever. And it's not just like his ability, it's just his timings look off, his positioning has been poor, and he just looks a little bit lost on the map. So need to see more coming from him.
Yeah, but he also strikes me as someone who would lose full because their ping is bad no matter what.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
for sure,
could be that.
Then we had Miami Heretics going up against Boston Breach, and this one went down to a map 5. Boston able to take it 6-2, but and they prevented that reverse sweep, as you can see there. Hold on, my freaking thing's going crazy. My blood sugar's low, but I'm fine. Relax. But yeah, Cammy with a 0.8 stinky Magoo.
Okay, it was a stinky, but peep those S&Ds. That man was frying.
No, I was about to follow it up. Yeah. But as you take a look at the damage, like it wasn't like he wasn't shooting his gun, and then that discrepancy comes in with those S&D wins. So he had a 1.6 and a 1.4 in each of the S&Ds. So he showed up when it mattered. It is 40% of the map set, so got to be good in that mode. And Boston continue to show that they have some good search prowess. On the other side of things, Metals with a tough series, but obviously with those search losses being 6-2s, you're going to be positive and still lose the series, taking just the respawns. So, I mean, this is just a weird test of time for Miami and a weird set of matches that they've had. Like it shows at the top, they're 1-3, but they're still competitive with every team that's in that bunch that I was talking about earlier.
I think they're good at respawn, but they're so bad at S&D right now.
Which is and I really think that they can fix it too, because it's just the pacing. Like Real is getting first bloods. I think he might lead first bloods category right now. And then they're not converting that into round wins because of the positioning on the map. No one's there for a trade for him. No one's up in a position that in the space that he's gained on the map. And so if they can work around, or maybe just start hitting everything and just completely throw your brain out the window, might even work as well. But yeah, it's just the S&D woes that they're going to need to touch up on. Yeah,
but I like Miami. My Vamos Bucks are still in my pocket. I'm keeping them. I'm not giving up on Miami yet. I threw Doug up here because he has the keys, and maybe he was right. This Boston roster, I might need to come out and admit I was wrong. I was a hater. I was like, why'd they keep this roster? They're actually not bad. I like their teamwork. Cammy's looking good this year. Boston might be a decent mid-tier team this year.
I'll throw out, how I feel these teams are doing, but I will save my dog shit team or competitive until after Major 1, because LAG, though they look so bad online, they prove to be worthy opponents on land. So I'm going to save my harsh criticisms for after Major 1. But shout out to Doug for still keeping Snoopy and then putting those 3 players on the roster after they did so poorly at EWC. But yeah, going to the next one, we had Optics versus Surge. Hook's debut with the roster after Pred got dropped. They ended up taking it 3-1. It was a bang-out red card. Map 1, Abuza dropped the kill record at 45, and I think Dashy was right behind him at 42 or 43 that map. And then we take the S&D and the Vault control very, very convincingly, and also convincingly take that map for Protocol. So it was a good showing from Hook in his debut with a 1.13, but Dashy and Shotzi continue to prove that they're playing some of the best COD that they have. So definitely looking good going into the minor, and a good debut from Hook.
Yeah, for sure. So I got Hixie up here. 66 overall Hixie.
Yep.
And it's really tough because I like Hixie. I like players that know how to play for the win. But that first series of their year, he fried. He absolutely fried. And I was like, damn, maybe Hixie, that year off really helped him. He developed. Dude's got some slaying power now. Ever since then, it's just been downhill.
Yeah.
To go minus 38 Dropping a .62, man, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it was really that map 3, that vault. He just could
Yeah.
not get by anything. He went 15 and 29 and really anchored down his overall stats. I mean, even if he went even in that map, he still would have had like a .8. So,
Yeah, just a rough series, but we're gonna need a
but yeah,
little more from Vancouver. I still like their roster and think that they can, pick it up a little bit.
absolutely. And one thing also that I want to note about Hook as well is that throughout his time in Challengers, early on, and then obviously all of last year, we really heard him with a voice in the comms.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously being a sub last game and being able to go on the routes and whatnot, have that communication. He's very vocal in the comms as to his prior years in the COD league. So hearing him go crazy in the comms was fun.
Yeah, and he was loud, bro. Like, I hope he
Yeah,
wasn't that
he's
loud for
loud.
everyone because you couldn't hear anyone else talking when he was talking.
Well, yeah, he can cut. They can customize all their
Yeah.
sounds, so they're good. Next, we had Ultra versus Falcons. As we know, Falcons haven't been too competitive, other than some hard points in most searches. They definitely got some work to do, and Ultra really showed how ahead of the game they are, especially against an underdeveloped team like Falcons. 3-0, round 11 in the control, but other than that, they handled business. Kleenex going crazy, as you see on here. If you got an issue, here's a tissue.
Yeah.
Shout out Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Kleenex is going for that MVP this year if he keeps this up.
Yeah, and if Kix keeps this up, he might be Rookie of the Year,
Mm-hmm.
unless Rancor can say something about it. But Kix and XNID have definitely proved that they're the stars of this team. Everyone, and this may be just me, but King Abadi was the name that everyone kind of knew because of the 1v1s against the pros. But I always remembered XNID being on that leaderboard on ranked.
Mm-hmm, me too.
And then Kix has just proved that he's just got the skill.
And
To
he's a
compete.
grinder, dude. Kix was the first pro on the ranked leaderboard.
Yep, and he's a grinder too. So
So he's putting the work in.
I think they'll have some good development over the year, but right now they're just so obviously behind that it's going to be tough to squeeze out some of these wins. And it's only going to get worse as the year progresses, unfortunately, to make up that gap. And I'm speaking in terms of points now, not skill.
Mm-hmm.
These wins early are so important to for that champs race at the end of the year. So they're going to need to start getting some wins.
Yeah, definitely. And I just, I think it's going to come down to eventually, like, they're going to have to drop King of Body and Roxas probably if they want to compete. Because
Yeah.
King of Body, I mean, I was watching the Zuma watch party this weekend, and he was just saying, like, bro, this dude, he doesn't even know how to make, like, simple plays on hard point. And, like, they're just lost sometimes, him and Roxas. So
Yeah.
they like XNID and Kicks. I think eventually it is just going to have to come to a two-person change, and I'm interested to see what Falcons does with that.
Right, because apparently they do have a challengers team right now that just came they lost to Arcity's team.
Oh,
Very close last map.
okay.
So apparently Parasite was saying a couple of those Vegas Falcons guys on the challenger team. I imagine that's what they're gonna
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then we get into the second day of matches here. We had Optics versus Gentlemates. And this one got a little bit scary, but Optic were able to squeeze it out in the map 5. Another great series out of Dashi, able to take down the Gentlemates. I didn't really see too much of this match, but I do see Hook struggling a little bit down there.
Yeah, so go look at map 1. Is that the map where he went double neg?
Yes, 16 and 34. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So that's why I slap Russell Westbrook up here, because Russell Westbrook, great player, but he's liable to drop stinkers here and there. He either comes out in balls or he comes out and he's missing everything. So I feel like that's Hook's play style. Some days you're going to get this Hook. Now the thing is, Hook made big plays in the map 5 to win the map. So he made up for it. But yeah, I mean, this can't. We need a little more consistency, a little closer to that 1.0,
Exactly. Yeah, this one, like I said, I didn't really watch too much of it, so not much to touch on. Like to see that Skyline Hardpoint be a little closer. 75-point spread means that they were getting some solid holds
Yeah.
on a map like Skyline, which I mean I can understand on the P4 and maybe and sometimes the P3, or I'm sorry, P2 and P4,
Mm-hmm.
which you know gotta figure that out. But yeah, Optic moved to 3-1 before the minor.
Solid.
Solid. And then we got where are we at here? We got
Ravens
Carolina
and
versus
FaZe.
FaZe. The way that Carolina had been playing up to this point, and obviously FaZe with their history, this was a match that everyone was looking forward to. And Carolina come out 100-point clubbing FaZe and keep that momentum into a 3-0. Tej, Slasher, and Gwyn have all been playing amazing. Not the best series from Slasher here, but Tej said, "Don't worry, bro, I got
Yeah.
you." And him and Gwyn were able to pull off a little bit of a master class there. That map one was a Vivid and TJ Halley show with both of them having over a 1.5. So whenever you have your SMGs playing like that, especially against FaZe, I mean, you're gonna pull out the dub.
Yeah, no, that was wild. I could not believe my eyes. FaZe, once again, just coming out with no energy. Just, I don't know, man. Something might be wrong internally.
They look flat.
Yeah.
They
So,
look flat. They miss having Tupac Thug Lord.
yeah. But shout out to Gwyn, man. He's keeping up the momentum from last year. This dude's a shooter.
He's
for
frying.
real. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
not
man.
too much to say other than Ravens look really, really good right now. Obviously, they're going to come into the minor tournament with a bye, so we'll see what they can do.
Yeah.
Then we got Boston Breach versus Surge. With how good Surge have been in the S&Ds, I really thought this would be a 3-1 because they did end up losing that map too. But as you see here, they take both hard points and then take that map 5 on the red card. Again, 3 negative on the side of the Surge. Not what you want to see and not what'll get it done. But on the other side of things, Snoopy, Awakening, and Cammy having a good series, pulling the weight there.
Yeah. I put Big Wake stretch resed because he's back. Big Wake is back.
Big Wake.
We saw Big Wake today. Yeah, Cammy, once again, great series. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. Snoopy had his occasional go-off series. So Boston's
Very
looking...
little damage here. So this, I mean, his positive KD very much came from the work of
getting
the
trades.
ARs looking over him. Yeah, exactly. So looks like some teamwork came into play here. Purge throwing his life away, baiting so Snoop can clean up the kills, and then Cammy and Awakening looking over them, providing those shots, as you see with over 11,000 damage for Awakening. And yeah, obviously another not the worst on the team. Or actually, it is the worst on the team. Sorry, Hixie, but having more kills than Abuza. So another struggle series. Abuza put up the most damage in the lobby. So I mean, take that with a grain of salt. This Vancouver Surge to me is looking like it's. I mean, of that bunch that is all so tightly knit, I really think that Surge and maybe Miami are the worst of them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely are.
But yeah. Now we got Ultra versus Miami. This went down to a map 5, and this is what I'm saying. Like, even though Miami are 1-3, they're being so competitive, and one of those reps is here against Toronto Ultra. A positive green slate for all of Ultra. Lucky the only one positive on the side of Miami,
which is a shocker.
Right, yeah. And this came down to the S&Ds again. Toronto Ultra able to take both of them 6-1, so it's not like they were just grinding them out and had better mid-map rotations and were taking these close rounds on them. They dominated them in both of the S&Ds, and Toronto moved to undefeated.
Yeah, Toronto's looking really good right now. They're working together as a team well. Kleenex continues to just dominate, and on the side of Miami, man, these S&Ds are just piss poor. 6-1, 6-1. 6-2, 6-2 in the other series. Like, they're not even close to being there at S&D right now. So they really got to figure that out, and I think Miami will skyrocket up the rankings if they can end up
I
winning some
agree.
S&Ds.
They look really good in the respawns. If they're able to keep that up while working on S&D, they'll look good.
Yeah.
Next matchup we got here is Vegas versus Falcons. The struggling Atlanta FaZe finally able to squeak out a win versus the worst team in the league, and they dropped a map
Yeah. Control
to
of
them
all
as
things.
well, and a control, the most straight up game mode of all time, which can also cause for some spawn traps, I guess. But it was Vault, the most balanced map we have when it comes to control. If you look at the KDs there, the SMGs carrying most of the weight on the side of FaZe with a BZ and Simp. And then again, Kicks showing that he's got the slaying power and potential with look at the damage as well. I
Yeah.
mean, he was just putting in bullets and they got, pretty much 100 point clubbed on both hard points. So get that guy some help.
Yeah, seriously. And then, as you can see, we got King Booty up here because
Oh, I was
that
wondering.
man that man dropped a .59 this series.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
this is a
tough.
tough one.
Yeah, that's not a good look. Everyone but Kicks, 8,000 damage. I mean, you're just not going to see results when you're not able to hit, shoot back.
A
Um,
.8 in a loss like this says like, yeah, we were struggling, trying our best. A .59 is like, why are you in the lobby?
yeah, you're getting shit on,
Like, you
buddy.
just can't compete at this level.
You can go to challengers, but
Yeah. So yeah, nice of FaZe
yeah,
to get a free win.
yeah, FaZe. Their
They
only
needed some
win
dope.
heading into the minor comes from Atlanta Falcons. But
Or
hey, a
FaZe
dub's a
Falcons.
dub.
Atlanta Falcons.
Now we got Ravens versus C9 here. This one was an interesting match because obviously Carolina looking really good, 3-0ing FaZe. You expect them to make quick work of Cloud9, but like I said, this is a different Cloud9. They got their head on straight, or they're playing on good servers, whatever it may be. Their last couple of matches have been a lot more competitive. This was about to be a 3-0, and then the Royal Ravens said, "Hold up, here's the Uno reverse card. We're
Yeah.
reverse sweeping you, and we're doing it convincingly.
First of the
3-1 in the
year.
control, 250, 105 in the hard point, and a 6-3 to end it off on the vault search. Taking a look at the scoreboard down below, Slasher and Gwyn, everyone positive, but Slasher and Gwyn leading the way with the most damage and the highest KDs. I mean, they're just playing lights out.
Yeah, their respawns have been phenomenal. This series was insane from them.
Yeah,
On the side of C9, man.
yeah. They
Stop
Attached
costing
has
your
been
team, little man.
struggling. Civ is also still just bad.
And once again, like, his damage is on par with everyone else, but
Yeah,
he's just minus 34. Like, he's just not finishing kills.
I mean, yeah, having the most deaths on your team as an AR is never a good look, especially in a loss like this and being, having a point, not even a .7. So, um, just tough looks for the ARs at Cloud9 New York. They really need to see some improvement. You're not going to get a win when your only person positive is your most inconsistent player in Crimp. So,
Yeah.
um, you have these consistent players like Attach, but you need them to be consistently good, not consistently mid. So, yeah,
Yeah.
oh
I just think
04,
they got all kinds of issues with ping and, I don't know. They're probably not as well practiced as many of the other teams are.
04's in Sip's head, man, from last year,
Yeah.
apparently. But yeah,
Uh,
Carolina moving to undefeated, and they get that bye in the minor.
Good for the Ravens.
Then we got LA Thieves, who also moved to undefeated as they take down Minnesota Rocker 3-1. Rockers S&D looked insane in this
Yeah.
matchup. They looked super good, convincing 6-1. Other than that, they did fall short in the other three maps. They kept it competitive on map 1 and 3, and lost touch a little bit on the rewind hardpoint. But overall, I definitely think Rocker looked really, really good. But LA Thieves, it's just the talent gap right now. They're just better overall. The knowledge gap of the game is very small right now, to where talent can be a little bit more relied on. And
Hmm.
if anything, they're gonna be the team that pulls ahead, of the learning curve. So
Yeah, for
no
sure.
surprise here, but the fight out of Rocker is very promising.
Yeah, yeah. Hence the young guns. The young guns are out here impressing. So,
Yeah, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot of this out of Esriel. I
mhm.
feel like he's gonna be playing kind of like that same. Uh, almost like Hicksy type role, but with a little more aggression and a
Mm-hmm.
little less regard for his life. More of a Vivid. I see a Vivid is kind of more what I see his
Yeah.
role on this team as, because Nero's always going to be in your face, and then Geo and Paul X are pretty much on the same page in their pace and their positioning. So Esriel is, I feel like when he has a good series, we're going to see some good things for Minnesota Rocker, and then obviously the other three are doing their thing so far.
Yeah. And this was a tragic series because Rocker went up 2-0 in control and looked dominant and then lost 3 rounds in a row.
Yikes!
Yeah, so I thought for sure that they were just coming out hot and maybe had a chance to knock off Thieves. And I was hoping that they could win that to get to a map 5 because that search was dominant. So I was assuming if they get to map 5, Rocker's going to win. So Rocker had a shot, dude. They had a shot.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And then I put the Jordan flu game up here because Scrap was sick as fuck. He joined like the Zuma watch
I
party
heard
call.
that.
Sounded like shit, and he was like, bro, I'm
Yeah.
sick, so-and-so sick, we were just kind of trolly today, bro. So I kind of believe him. But they still closed it out on red card and protocol. So
Yes, sir. And that was our last match before the CDL minors. So this is the first time that they're doing this. It's a $20,000 online tournament, winner takes all, single elimination. Top four current seeds get 4 buys, and then the other 8 teams play in the first round of the bracket. And so that's getting it pulled up here. But uh, the first match is going to be Minnesota Rocker versus Gentlemates.
oh yeah,
Who do we got taking that one?
let me pull that up. Sorry, I was jumping ahead. I pulled up the tier list.
Oh,
Who'd you say?
just type in minor one.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got Surge. Well, yeah, we'll just go top to bottom here. And funny enough, they're all grouped by color.
I know, that's so crazy.
But we got Surge versus Cloud9. This is probably going to be pretty close if I had to guess. But I think Cloud9 have a little chip on their shoulder, and they probably gain a little bit of confidence being on land, knowing that those worries are non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cloud9 takes this one.
Yeah, I do too. I got Cloud9, maybe 3-2. I think it'll be a good series. But Cloud9 has had a few S&Ds this year and some respawns last weekend where they looked really good. So
Absolutely. Optic versus Falcons. Obviously going to take Optic in this one. Hopefully they can just, make it a clean 3-0 if they're on their game.
Mm-hmm.
But I can honestly see this, dragging out,
I hope
fourth,
not.
maybe even
There's no way.
in fifth map.
There's no way, dude.
I mean, there is with like it's land.
I can't believe you just said that. They're going to be fucking shitting themselves. Falcons is so fucked.
That is true.
This is a 3-0 20-minute match.
Sorry, it's not on land.
Oh, it's online.
I forgot. This is online, so
Okay.
I still think Cloud9
I still
get it
do
done,
too.
but it's still going to be close. Optic, I'm going to say get it done, of course.
I'm saying 25-minute series from Optic.
Okay. Heretics versus FaZe.
Oh,
I think FaZe.
shit.
I think FaZe are just going to be locked in. I think they're going to win the hard point and make this series tough for Heretics. I think FaZe win it.
Yeah, I'm going to take FaZe just because I mean, we haven't seen a good search from Heretics, so FaZe up.
Rocker Gentlemates, I am taking Rocker in this one. I just think they're the better team. I think the searches are going to be pretty close. I think Gentlemates are also an okay search team, but Rocker just look really good right now, and their pace and cohesion on the map. I'm going to take Rocker.
Yeah, this is a good rematch from week 1. I think LAG took it in 5. And that was like the first match of the season.
Rocker took it in 5.
Rocker took it in 5? So this is going to be a crazy match, I think. I'm going to go Rocker just because they had a better weekend more recently, and they're looking good. So, yeah, I'll go Rocker in 5.
Okay. That gives us Ravens Cloud9. I'm going to say Ravens.
Yeah, big time. 3-1 maybe.
Breach Optic. This is a rematch of the opening match for Optic and Breach. I'm going to say Optic takes this one 3-1. They drop the search.
Damn, bro. If this goes 5, that's kind of scary.
No, yeah. If it gets to 5, then we lose.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Optic. I'll keep the bias for this one, but I'm a little nervous about that match.
Then we got I got Thieves versus FaZe. Pretty self-explanatory.
Hey, last
there.
one went to 5. FaZe might show up for that game. Who knows?
True. Ultra versus Rocker. This is gonna be a really good one, I think. The S&Ds, they're both really good S&D teams. Probably the top two of the top three S&D teams. Damn.
Ultra game 5, round 11.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Ultra game 5. Which gives us Ravens versus Optic. This is gonna be a banger.
Ooh, yeah.
I have no idea what to think. I don't know what about it, but I just see us stacking up against Carolina, just like better individually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think Dashy's gonna be gunning slasher. I think Vivid's a lost cause against all 4 of them on the map. I think Shotzi's gunning every single one of them. Like I just feel like if Kenny plays average, we should win this.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm gonna take Optic.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. Then we got Thieves versus Ultra.
Interesting.
I'm taking Thieves.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be like a 3-1, but the maps are close.
Yeah, I can see that. And Ultra can definitely compete in S&D. So if this goes 5, beware.
That would give us Optic versus Thieves in the grand final. Obviously.
I mean, I think Thieves win everything this split.
Thieves are gonna win it. Hopefully Optic keeps it close, but there it is. Next Wave predicts LA Thieves to be your Minor 1 champions.
So shocker.
Now we're gonna go ahead and do a little tier list, which is, pretty or an indication of our bracket as well. Probably.
Yeah, and this is just kind of, what should our criteria be? Is this just kind of where they're at right now?
This is just where they're at, and obviously it's going to end up looking like their seedings to an extent, but this is also us separating where that line is, right? Where the groupings are is really what matters here. So we'll go ahead and throw Thieves up in S. Just get the easy out of the way, and throw Falcons in D. Yep. And now's the interesting part. Now we can go from left to right.
Okay. So FaZe, this is an interesting one.
Yeah,
currently, I'm thinking C.
Yeah, we got to do current.
I'm thinking
no. Put them in
B. They're bottom of B.
They can be bottom of B.
I mean, they just got fucking swept. Who'd they lose to besides Thieves? Who was their other loss?
They lost to Thieves, Ravens, and Toronto.
Did Ultra? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they've had a fucking... Breach. They've played 3 out of the top 4 teams for like...
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, B. My bad, FaZe. Boston, definitely...
I would put them ahead of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, their teamwork's
Carolina,
looking good.
I'm putting them in A.
Yep.
Okay. Gentlemates in C. Miami, I would also put in C.
Yeah, their
search would you put them ahead or behind?
I think if these two teams played today, Gentlemates is taking that.
Okay. I'm not against that.
All they have to do is win a respawn.
I would put Rocker ahead of Breach.
Yeah.
Personally, I just think they have more slaying power,
mm-hmm.
And they probably stack up well against each other in S&D. But I'm gonna give that edge to Rocker.
Yeah. C9.
I'm putting them in B. Top.
Top. I mean, these two teams are the same to me right now.
I just think the ceiling is much higher on C9 New York.
Yeah, I do too. But as of right now, it's not looking.
Yeah.
B2.
Surge, I'd put
them in there with them. They're 1-3, and just kind of mid now.
I just feel like Miami, like.
I mean, these 4 teams to me are like all in the same.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, but I'm just trying to order them.
Order them. Yeah, Miami's definitely better in respawn than some of these teams. It's just
Yeah,
tough.
I like
I mean,
that.
they
I
literally
like that.
don't
It's
have
fun.
S&D right. Like, that's tough.
I
That's
know.
2 maps lost automatically.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
But that
Uh,
also means it's going to the map 4, which is a hard point, you know?
yeah. But if they lose any of those respawns, it's over right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
So that's nerve
Uh,
wracking.
Optic, I'm putting in A,
Yeah.
and I think we can put them behind. I think we just put them behind Carolina right now. Um,
Carolina ahead of Ultra.
I think so. Honestly, I just think they're playing the
Yeah.
game the right way. I'm not to say that Ultra couldn't beat them. Of course they could, but
Hmm.
I just like what I see from Carolina right now. Um, and just Optic could very well be at the top of A. But I just feel like with the change for Hook is just too much
Yeah.
of a question mark too early. It's
Yeah.
safe to put them there. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, I like it. I think this is
Okay.
definitely the right groupings in my head. Like, this is kind of how I had it.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I'm with you.
so
I'm
yeah,
with
it's
you
cool
there.
to see this. I think a lot of these C tier teams could easily move up and down. Like, C and B is interchangeable
Absolutely. Absolutely.
as
Like
the
I think
season
on
goes on.
certain days any C team could beat a B team, but if we were to play 10 matches, I think those B would
Hmm.
beat the C teams at least 6 times out of 10.
Yeah, and then if FaZe gets back to form, they could very well move up to S a certain
Yeah,
split this year. So
absolutely.
like,
I mean, literally, we're literally looking not even to a major, we're looking to a minor. So obviously, we're operating off of 4 total matches for each of
yeah,
these teams, and we're not even, we're literally 2 weeks into the season,
yeah,
a month and a half of scrimming. So
yeah. So it's a way too early tier list.
way too early tier list. Next wave, patented, approved, and that's our weekend recap here. Anything else you want to talk about in regards to BO6 comp before we move on to our last segment?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. All right. Let's wrap it up with pick and bans here, where me and Dak pick and ban something from recency in life and talk about it. So I'll go ahead and get us started. My pick is the Omnipod app. So I'm a type 1 diabetic and I have to carry around this separate device. It looks like an iPod Touch. And so sometimes my pockets are too full than I like. It's another thing that I have to have charged and be
Yeah.
responsible for. Had my doctor's appointment yesterday and found out that they released finally an FDA approved app. So I no longer have to lug that thing around. It's right on my
Let's go.
phone and it makes life much
How
easier
the
for
hell
me.
was that not a thing yet? It's
Well, with
2024.
with that technology and the health world
Mm-hmm.
getting shit FDA approved and with patents on the technology is
Yeah.
annoying, and it has to work with a certain other device that I wear that's a different company, so like they probably
Mm,
had to agree on the
yeah.
whole nine
Yeah.
yards.
That
So
sounds like a lot of
it
hoops.
did take a while, but you're exactly right. It took longer than it should have. We're in 2024, and it's not like we needed AI or a
Yeah.
computer chip. We just needed an app that
Yeah.
could have been made probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a good daily life change.
Heck yeah. Well, my pick is Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
I played through that game last year and the DLC for the first time, and it was dope. It was definitely like, I left that game thinking like, wow, that game was top 3, like it was sick. And then played Elden Ring. Elden Ring blew my fucking mind. Like, I thought that game was the best game I've ever played. And then I got back on Cyberpunk recently, and dude, no game has better immersion. Maybe Red Dead 2, but I haven't really played it. So, excluding Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk's immersion is insane, bro. It is insane.
Really?
Just the random conversations that people have on the street. There's like, they use their own lingo in the city, so like they'll call people chooms and say, I don't know, they got like their own little funny lingo
Yeah.
and like insults, and it's just insane, dude. It is actually insane. And plus I watched Edge Runners, so like that kind of makes the city
Yeah.
that makes the city cooler now that you kind of know the ins and outs. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like, there's just so much detail in that game. There's so much to do. The graphics are insane. The story is insane. There's like tons of weapons that you can get. Like, it's just endless. It's so fun.
Yeah. I need to go back and finish it.
It's really like a life simulator. Like, you got a phone, you can text your like characters and stuff, and like have just one-off random conversations. Like, you can just hit people up and be like, yo, what you doing? What's up? Like it's insane. It's like real
That's
life
weird.
in a
I
game.
need to I need to go play through it.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. So
Uh,
that game is super dope. I definitely want to do a new playthrough on it and like really get the details and side quests and stuff.
yeah, I'm gonna start playing that when like no one's on.
Yeah, yeah, it's freaking dope.
All right, my band is this United Healthcare murderer guy
Luigi?
getting all this attention and like love. Like
Cuz
I
he's
feel like
hot?
yeah, I feel like this Menendez documentary really
It
skewed these
did, bro.
people's minds on like the view of criminals because like people are like saying they should be pardoned. You know, the Menendez brothers, they should get out. And like, I understand why there's an uprising in that because there's a documentary made, there's a Netflix show made, and their time is up where they could review parole. So I get it. But why are this guy just like
Just
I
cold-blooded
understand,
murdered someone on the
and they're
street.
like on some lower class revolt, screw the high CEOs. It's like this guy just killed a man on the sidewalk in cold
Yeah,
blood. Like, why are we posting him
glorifying
on
that.
social media, talking about the? It's just I hate that shit,
Yeah.
and it's stupid, and I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well,
So
the
yeah,
the New Jersey drones are burying the Luigi talk, so
good.
don't
Yes,
don't worry about it.
I'm down for aliens
Yeah.
over this murder
Yeah.
shit.
My band is Aaron Rodgers. As a Bears fan, I've hated that dude for years,
Yes,
but he
yes.
recently had a documentary come out that is basically just like, here's why I'm an asshole. That's what the documentary is. So,
Really?
yeah, it's pretty dope. He talks about how he just cut off his family for a really stupid reason. They just wanted him to like, they said his life was getting too big and he needs to quit talking about his life and stuff. And for some reason he took that personal, and then there was some drama with like his brother going on The Bachelor and bad mouthing him or
Yeah.
something. And so like this dude just like cut his family off and was talking about them as if they're just like some random people too. Like it's not like he was talking about his parents, like, yeah, you know, you really just got to clean your circle up sometimes. Sometimes people are toxic. And it's like, I don't know, just
The
from what it
hell?
sounds like, it doesn't really sound like his parents were that bad of people, bro. I think he's just
Yeah,
an
he's just
asshole.
an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that, and then, you know, it's just him fucking, I don't know, trying to make himself look good on a documentary, bro. It's hilarious. You should watch it. It's called Enigma.
Enigma. Okay. Of
Yeah,
course
they
it's
got him
called
on his
some weird
darkness
word.
retreats,
Fucking,
and it's
yeah.
all the Aaron Rodgers stuff. But the dude is just a sociopath or something. I don't know. He's a weirdo, bro.
No,
he's a weirdo
weird.
for
No,
sure.
he's definitely a weird guy, and
Yeah.
he's not doing too well. I think he should retire after this year.
Yeah,
me
nah.
personally.
Knowing him though, he's not going to. He still thinks he's Aaron Rodgers.
He'll never be again.
That
But
that last weekend game where he dropped 30 points in fantasy probably inflated his ego again.
I mean, that was his first 300 plus yard game in like 20 some plus
Yeah.
games or something like that.
Yeah.
So he probably had so much fun. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 48 of the Next Wave podcast. We'll see you guys for some more content in the coming weeks for some next episodes. Looking forward to episode 50. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you haven't already to help the channel grow. We very much appreciate it. Deuces.